Hello and welcome back to the Untitled podcast. I'm your host Brian Thomas, and today I got a guest with me. If you want to introduce yourself,
What's good? Tyler, the boy.
the homie right there. And we're just gonna be doing a normal episode. I got some topics that we could talk about that are sports related, but I'm just gonna get a secondhand opinion on some of these things that I'm gonna talk about. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was actually something that's been heavily rumored today to happen in 2023, the fight between Jake Paul and Andrew Tate,
Yeah,
The
that's kind of
top G
crazy.
Andrew Tate. If that fight were to go
Get
down,
lit.
how do you see that going?
I still see Jake Paul winning. I Andrew Tate's old. I know he has a background in kickboxing and stuff like that, but I still see Jake winning.
I don't know how old Andrew Tate is. Do you know
I could
do we
check.
know that? Like do we have like an age or anything?
I could check right now.
Okay. But yeah, Jake Paul's definitely
Andrew
still young. Still,
Andrew Tate is 35. That's not as bad as I thought, actually.
yeah, I thought he was pushing 40. That's not
But I
bad.
do know that he has a lot of like injuries. Like he said on like a podcast that he has like a fractured hand, got like a broken nose still. So
hmm
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, he is the top G.
He is.
He's the top G.
Yeah,
I don't know. That fight, both guys have a lot to lose in that fight. So I don't
word.
see either guy really letting up or holding back anything. They're good. Those guys are gonna go at it if they do fight. But one thing I
Yeah.
actually thought about was if that fight does happen, does that affect his fight with KSI at all?
I don't think that fight is ever happening.
You don't think it's happening?
I don't think that fight will ever happen.
I'm
Like
pretty
I
sure
want it to happen so
That's supposed to
bad.
happen in England on in 2023.
I sure hope so, but only time will
Imagine what kind
tell.
of year that would be for Jake Paul if he were to beat
Yeah.
KSI and beat Andrew Tate.
Oh man. I
That
think he's
would
the real deal though.
Yeah, at that point he would be like the real deal. Not that he isn't
Yeah, yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like his last fight over Anderson Silva was definitely well earned, well fought,
Yeah.
but definitely a
I
lot of
still think when
interesting
he
things to look
knocked
forward
out
to.
Woodley, bro, that was crazy.
Oh no, that was insane. He had him sleep.
Literally, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all I want to talk about with that. Let's get into our Week 10 preview of the NFL. I know yesterday in my podcast, I actually previewed today's game between the Panthers and the Falcons. I had the Panthers winning that game. As of right now, they are in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes left, and the Panthers are beating the Falcons 22-9.
Okay.
So let's just say for right now, the Panthers won that game.
Yeah.
I got one under my belt. So we're actually gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna tell you each game that's gonna go on, and I'm gonna hear your team, and then I'll say my team. And then
All right, bet.
if we have a disagreement, we'll talk about it.
Bet.
All
Okay.
right. First game on my list, we got the Seahawks versus the Buccaneers.
I think the Seahawks are gonna come out with the win. They've been hot lately. Buccaneers just they
I
be
don't
selling
know.
lately.
I mean, I feel like you could say the same thing about the Bucks. I think I'm going with the Bucks on that one. I think
I gotta go with that.
I think Tom's gonna start getting his stuff together. He doesn't have to
Walker's
deal
a
with
dog
Gazelle
still
anymore.
though. Walker's been killing it lately, so
Yeah, Kenneth Walker's been really good. Geno Smith has
I'm
been
gonna
amazing
go
out
with
of
him.
nowhere.
Yeah. And Mike Evans has been questionable this whole week, so I don't know if he might play or not.
Uh, that's a pretty good point. All right, next game. Got the Lions versus the Bears.
That is going to be. I
It's a
think
really
that
close
game's
game.
gonna be. Yeah, I think that game might be the best game of the week personally because they both have been averaging over 40 in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna still go with the Lions because that Bears defense is garbage. But we'll go with the Lions.
that's definitely true. But
Yeah,
I think we're gonna butt heads again, just because of how well Justin Fields played last week. I feel like that's going
Yeah,
to translate very well against the Lions, especially
picked
at
him
home
up
for the
and yeah,
Bears. What
picked him up
he
on
almost ran for
fantasy.
200 rushing
Went
yards
gold.
and he threw for over 150 passing yards.
Yeah,
Hopefully he can keep that up. But yeah, that's definitely a toss-up game. So I mean, I could see it going either way, but I guess my pick would be the Bears. Next game, Browns at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins.
The
Until
Dolphins.
Deshaun Watson comes back, I don't really think they have
Yeah,
a. I don't really think they have a chance at contending.
yeah, Dolphins. Just no question.
Broncos at Titans.
It
Is Russ
depends
gonna
if
cook?
Ryan Tannehill's playing. Because
He's
if
not.
not, he's
Malik
not.
Willis is playing this week.
I gotta go with. I gotta go. Let's ride. I gotta go with
Broncos country,
the
let's ride.
Broncos country. Yeah, I don't think Malik. He has. I don't think he has it yet. Not there yet.
I agree. I agree. I would probably take Broncos in that matchup also. This is going to be a really fun game. Vikings at Bills.
That yeah. I
That's a
got
good one.
I got the Vikings winning because Josh Allen has that elbow injury.
I don't really know how much of an effect that's really going to have on him because I mean they showed that he had that UCL strain, but he was still throwing the
Hmm.
ball in that game 70 yards in the air. Like it was insane.
That is true, but they lost to the Jets last week.
They did lose to the Jets, but to be fair, the Jets have Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, who are right now definitely a top three cornerback duo in the NFL. I mean, I would say,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I don't think the Bills are fully healthy right now, especially with Josh Allen being hurt.
and
Um,
that
and the
defense is
Vikings are
getting
just
hurt
playing out of
too.
their mind, and they got everybody. Like nobody's hurt on that team. Vikings beating the Bills at home, though. That's just weird to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go Vikings still. Yeah,
I agree. I'll go Vikings. Okay, this game's a little eh. Texans at Giants.
they're in MetLife.
They're at MetLife, yes.
You know, I'm not saying this because I'm a Giants fan, but I think we'll come out with the win tonight or tomorrow, wherever we're playing. But
I agree. I agree. Just I don't know. I mean, I mean, I don't know if I could speak for you, but like as like a Giants fan the past couple years, this year just makes me feel like I have imposter syndrome. Almost like I feel like
yeah,
I feel like none of this is actually happening right now.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, that's I mean, if the Giants are as legit as all the experts and everybody are saying that they are, they should definitely beat the Texans. But I'm
yeah.
seeing some lists with the Giants at like they're in like the top
Uh,
five best teams in the NFL. I'm like, are you guys crazy? I'm a
no,
Giants fan and I know that's not true. I'm a
yeah,
Giants fan
Giants,
and I'm man enough to admit the Jets are better than us right now.
yeah,
But
the Giants are just not healthy either this week. The
mm,
McKinney came out with an injury, hand injury.
yeah,
We still got, maybe Kenny might come back, maybe. I
yeah.
don't
I
know
mean, he
about.
wasn't really doing anything when he was here though. So
He seems more happy now that we're winning. I don't know how that works out, but
yeah,
go with the Giants. See how
it'd
that
be
works out.
interesting to see what they do or if they're in the sweepstakes for Odell Beckham. I know I talked about that a couple of days ago. It seems like they really need him.
Yeah, I I'd be excited. I'd be so happy if he comes back, but I don't know.
I would be happy to be honest. All right, next game. A little bit of a bloodbath. We got Jaguars at the Chiefs. I feel like it's
Chiefs.
pretty much a no-brainer.
Chiefs. They're
It's
so
the
they're so
Chiefs at
good.
home. It's the
Yeah, they're
Chiefs.
so good. That
I do see
receiver core is
Travis
so good.
Etienne having a big game though. The past two games, he's had over 25 carries. Last week, he had two
Yeah,
touchdowns. That guy's going and this guy's going. That guy's going insane. All
yeah.
right, this game seems should be a little interesting. Saints at Steelers.
I'm gonna have to go with the Saints, even though they played really bad on Monday.
Hmm.
I'll go with this. Hopefully, Alvin Kamara pops off.
I know
I
you got him on your
Yeah,
fantasy, right?
yeah. Hopefully, he pops off. Wasn't too
uh,
happy about Monday, but we're gonna we're gonna go on with it.
I don't know. I feel like both teams need to. make changes at their starting quarterback position. I feel like the Steelers need to try out Mitchell Trubisky one more time because not
Yeah,
that Kenny Pickett can't do it. It's just that he just needs more time to develop. I mean, look what the Chiefs were able to do with Patrick Mahomes to sit out his
yeah,
first
yeah.
year under Alex Smith. Not saying that Mitchell Trubisky is a mentor of any sort, but it'd be nice to have just that year of experience under his belt. And also, I think the Saints need to really start thinking about moving on from Andy Dalton. I mean, it's getting bad. I don't know
I
why at
I
this
think
point you
they
wouldn't
need to
try
move
using
on.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I think they need to move on from Watson too. I don't think he's the fit for that team either.
Yeah, I mean that's what the draft this year's for. We got a bunch of really good QBs coming
Hopefully.
in this draft this year. So maybe that's their plan. I think they're kind of in rebuild mode right now. But I guess
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna say Steelers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints just because of their Chris Olave is still a dog.
Oh yeah, Chris
He's got the dog
Olave,
in him.
amazing. Definitely one of the best receivers out of that draft class. If
And they
Drake
have the
if
better
Drake London
defense,
didn't
so
exist,
we'll
he would
see.
definitely be the
Yeah.
best.
They got the
But
better defense, so we'll see.
all right, next game we got Colts at Raiders.
Uh Two really bad offense,
Yeah,
really.
but the Raiders
I
offense
guess
has been picking it up the
they
past couple
they have
weeks.
been picking it up. I'll go Raiders, even though they've been.
Yeah, I'll go Raiders too. That Colts offense is dead.
And now that the Colts have like a new head coach,
Jeff
insert coach,
Saturday.
whatever. Yeah. Um, I'll still go Raiders.
I was
I
look
don't
I,
see.
I was looking into him to see if he was good or if he had any experience before or anything like that. And after he retired from the NFL, he was a high school football coach for 1 year, and he went 3-10.
All right.
So I don't know how
Yeah.
well it's going to translate into the big leagues, but we'll see, I guess. Cardinals at Rams.
I think the Rams might come out with it.
I don't know. It's definitely interesting. The Rams are
Hmm.
I think the only team in the NFL who could play at home and still not have home field advantage, though.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Arizona's been their offense has been kind of shaky lately. There's been a bunch of arguing and stuff. I don't know. I just
I
think the
know.
Rams might come out.
Do you think D Hop really makes that much of a difference in that offense?
I think he does. He scored two touchdowns in his 3 games. He came back over 100 yards in I think in the last game. I don't remember.
I don't
But his
remember
first
either.
game, first game he had exactly 100 yards, which was crazy.
Yeah.
So he's definitely
I know Zach Ertz has been doing pretty well too. So there
yeah,
are weapons there. I think it's mostly just from a I think it's just a coaching problem because I feel like they have the weapons. But the Rams, I don't know. I think they're on like a pretty big losing streak actually. I
yeah.
can't I can't I can't like tell you the exact number, but I can't remember the last time they won a game. I know they lost last week in pretty spectacular fashion to the Buccaneers.
I didn't even watch that game. It's just
Well,
so
I mean,
boring.
the Tom Brady threw that rookie tight end his first touchdown to win the game right at the end.
Oh man.
So I don't know. Also, Matthew Stafford needs to learn to throw the ball to other people besides Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee.
Yeah.
There are other people on that team named Allen Robinson and Van Jefferson.
I forget that he was on that team, Allen Robinson.
He hasn't
It's
done
just
anything.
he hasn't done anything this
He's
season,
gonna he's gonna be the new Kenny Galladay.
literally.
All right. Next game we got Packers or no Cowboys at Packers.
Hate the Cowboys so much, but they're gonna win.
The Packers are washed. That offense is dead
Yeah.
too. The Packers offense is dead.
That Cowboys defense is so good.
Yeah,
It pains me
it's
to say it. It's
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 pretty
so
it's
good.
pretty insane considering the past couple years. I mean, even last year, the past couple years, we've been just we kept saying the defense was the problem on that team, and now they have probably a top three defense in the league right now.
Yeah, Michael Parsons is crazy.
Mm. Imagine how different it would be if Michael Parsons was on the Broncos and Trayvon Diggs, or not Trayvon Diggs, Patrick Surtain was on the Cowboys,
Um,
because that's
I
who they
think
took right before the Cowboys.
I think their secondary would be really good. Not their
I
pass
forgot how
in
they got
general.
Trayvon Diggs. Was that a draft pick, or did they pick him up off
Trevon Diggs
waivers?
was a
Or
second rounder from Alabama.
uh,
He was initially a wide receiver, and then he transferred over to cornerback. It was crazy.
interesting, but whatever. We both agree the Cowboys are going to beat the Packers.
Yeah, it pains me to say that, but yeah,
All right, Chargers at 49ers. This is a good game.
it's gonna
This
be a
should be
high
the
scoring
Monday night
game.
game, but it's
Yeah,
not.
I gotta go with the 49ers there. Uh, Christian McCaffrey is been doing pretty good lately.
Oh yeah, he's been amazing. I don't know. The Chargers, they have a great offense, but I know Keenan Allen has been out for majority of this year. I know Mike Williams was out for a couple weeks. I don't know if he's back this week or not. Austin Eckler's been amazing. Justin Herbert's been a little subpar, and I feel like people aren't really talking about it, but he's been subpar. I don't know. That Chargers team just looks depleted. So I mean, I don't know, but the 49ers are weird too because their defense is really depleted too, just especially in their secondary.
Yeah,
I'm gonna yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go with the 49ers on that one too though.
yeah,
All
man.
right, and our
Let's with the
last
49ers.
game of week 10, Washington Commanders at Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah, I'm glad we both agree on that one.
They got like a lawsuit on them now. I saw this morning.
Wait, the Commanders
Yeah,
or what?
something happened. I didn't even read it. Just so like they were suing them, and they want to
Oh,
sell the team.
it's
So
probably the owner, something with the owner probably.
yeah, and they're gonna sell the team anyways. So it's good.
I actually saw that one of the main people who are looking to buy it was Jeff Bezos.
Oh my god,
Imagine how weird that would be. Just Jeff
that's kind
Bezos
of
and like
cool.
those shareholders meetings or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about on the podcast for today was actually UFC 281. It's right around the
Good
corner. It's
card.
this
That is
Saturday.
such a good card,
It
bro.
looks like it looks like it's going to be the best card of the year. At least I think so. I mean, it's either this card or 280. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know. I'm not going to go through all the fights with you just because I did that already and we went through that. But I am interested to get your opinion on the last three fights of the main card. So, I guess I'll just list off the fights. We'll talk about them for a little bit and then we'll call it a day. In the lightweight division, we got Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler.
it's gonna be such a good fight.
3 rounds.
Yeah,
So
3 rounds is
anything
it?
that's it's 3 rounds is a lot different than 5 rounds.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure in my prediction video I said Michael Chandler was gonna win.
I think I remember you saying that.
I think I remember myself saying that, but even if I didn't say that, right now I feel like Michael Chandler's gonna beat Dustin Poirier.
I still think Dustin's gonna win.
You think Dustin's gonna win?
Yeah,
Well, what do you think Poirier does better than Chandler exactly?
his his striking's a lot better, and I know that
Mhm.
Michael Chandler is really good on the ground, but he hasn't really been taking the fights to the ground his last two.
I mean, I
He's just been standing up scrapping lately.
I would
Like
even
when he
argue
was,
he hasn't really gone to the ground in any of
yeah,
his fights in the UFC.
I think he tried in the Oliveira fight, and then he just got humbled really fast.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I I think the fight's gonna end out like Chandler and Gaethje, just like a war.
mm,
I don't know, but I don't have anyone getting knocked out though. I have it in like a decision.
funny that you actually mentioned Gaethje, because now my next question would be for you is, what happens if Dustin Poirier wins this fight? Does he have to fight somebody else before he gets a title fight, or can
I
he
think
just fight for
he
the title? Because I feel
Um,
like if he needs to fight somebody, he would have to fight Gaethje again. Well, I think that would be
that'd
the
be a good
trilogy.
fight.
It would either be the trilogy or the second fight.
Yeah, I think if Dustin wins, he would either fight um he would either fight Oliveira or that other guy that's ranked second. I forgot his name.
Darush.
Either one of those two. I don't think he'll get Gaethje yet. I think
Hmm.
Gaethje might get either the one or two. It could be either or.
I
I
don't know.
don't
It's
think they
interesting
fight.
because I know both. To me, both of those guys, if Poirier were to win this fight, have to fight somebody else before they're getting a title shot.
Yeah, well, it pretty much seems that Islam and Alex is gonna fight next year or whatever.
Yeah. Also, I hate to go a little off topic, but something a little interesting is the fight before the fight before Islam and Oliveira was Islam Makhachev versus Bobby Green. Obviously, that fight was supposed to be Islam Makhachev versus Beneil Dariush.
Hmm.
So, I guess my question is, do you feel that Makhachev should defend the title first in his division before he goes on to fight Volkanovski, or do you think they should just make that super fight right away?
Um, you should give him a fight in the division, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're
Okay.
gonna give the super fight right away. You could do Oliveira and the other guy. You could do that, and then Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. That'd be a good situation.
Hmm. I actually think that makes a lot of sense what you said to have Makhachev fight Volkanovski and then have Darush fight Oliveira. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well that's all I wanted to talk about for the lightweight division. Let's go on to the co-main event. We got Carla Esparza versus Wei Li Zhang. I don't think we need
Got
to.
my
I don't think we need to discuss how horrible Carla Esparza looked in her last fight, right?
yeah, I got my girl Whaley.
I feel like that is very obvious. So I guess my
Yeah.
question would be if Whaley, well, not if, when Whaley beats Carla Esparza, does Whaley Zhang have to fight Rose Namajunas?
I think she needs to fight someone else to prove. Maybe her. Mm, maybe she needs to get her get back. I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's interesting just because Namajunas beat Whaley twice, but she lost to Esparza. But I just don't see Esparza beating Zhang. The only way Esparza
No.
can beat Zhang is if she has another horrible fight and fights like a true grappler and just takes her down and just lays on top of her, which I don't even
Yeah.
think Whaley would let her do. Like Whaley's a pretty big for her. Is pretty big for that division. I think she's bigger than Esparza.
Yeah. Whaley's winning that. Not
Yeah,
even anything to think about.
Whaley all the way. And then in our main event of the evening in Madison Square Garden, we have Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pieta.
This one's a rough one.
This is probably the hardest fight of the year to predict, I would say.
Yeah, because you don't think you don't think the champ's gonna lose, but then you go back to the Usman fight
Hmm.
where it was just a shock to everyone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go with Adesanya still though. I think
Okay. Okay. I guess my
it's gonna
question
be a
for you then
I think
is
he's
if
still a boring fighter, so I think it's gonna be a boring fight.
yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think this is going to be a point fight. I think both
Yeah,
guys are going to make it a very technical kickboxing fight just because that's what they did before the UFC. Which also
yeah,
gets me to my point. Alex has beaten Adesanya twice in kickboxing. Once
hmm,
via decision, and the second time by a very, very brutal knockout.
yeah,
Very brutal. Like he was he got knocked down to the ground, and his body was very stiff, very brutal knockout. And in my video where I was predicting these fights, when I got to this fight, the one thing that I wanted to point out was that I feel like in all of Adesanya's fights, he's always had that little confident, like that little confidence edge over his opponent. But I don't think he's gonna have that this time around. I think Alex isn't scared of him whatsoever,
Yeah,
which I think while all the other fighters can say whatever they want, they were a little scared of Adesanya and what he could do.
yeah.
How much do you think that could play into Adesanya's fight going into this? Do you think he'll fight a little differently or
I think he'll fight a little more. Honestly, I think he'll just fight like how he fights because kickboxing and MMA, it's kind of the same, but not really. Um, Alex's last knockout was crazy though, so you gotta watch out
oh
for
yeah.
you gotta watch out for that.
Hmm.
But I just think he'll play like calm. He won't try to scrap him. He'll just balance it out.
Okay. Well, okay, so then I guess I have a couple more questions and then we could end off the podcast. Um Obviously, if Alex wins this fight, we have no idea what he's gonna do, like
Yeah,
whatsoever. Like he could fight whoever, do whatever, whatever. But there are a couple things that are a little interesting with Adesanya. If Adesanya wins this fight, I actually saw this on Instagram, but if he wins this fight, he will have beaten everybody in the top seven in that division, and he beat Vittori and Whitaker twice.
yeah,
So it kind of seems like he doesn't need to fight there anymore. But we've seen how well he fights in light heavyweight. He he lost that fight against Blachowicz.
yeah,
To be fair, he didn't really try to gain weight to match that little weight advantage that he had, but it's definitely something to be mentioned. So I guess my question would be, if he wins this fight, do you think he has to fight, or do you think he's going to fight anybody else in the middleweight division, or do you think he's going to try to get the double champ status?
definitely could get the double champ status. It it honestly depends who's the lightweight champion though.
Well, we'll find out next month after
Yeah,
uh Prochazka and Teixeira fight.
yeah.
I
I feel
definitely
like
see one guy. I definitely see him beating one guy over the other.
yeah, if
I
he
see
if he
him
fights
beating.
the
I see.
sheriff,
I could see
probably.
him beating Prochazka, but not Teixeira.
Oh, I have it the other way around.
Well, now I'm the only reason why I'm saying that. That might be a little bit of a controversial take, but Glover Teixeira is an amazing grappler. I
Yeah,
think he could just take him down and just keep him on the ground for 25 minutes. Where Prochazka, he'll try to fight you and stand with you, but I think Adesanya is the best kickboxer in the UFC.
true.
So I don't really see that going all that well.
Yeah, that's really it's a hard take honestly, because if he does win, he could either go up, either just stay there and
Hmm.
fight. Um, what's the other Sweden guy's name? He could fight him maybe.
What's the other what? Oh,
The Sweden
Chimaev?
guy. Yeah, he could fight him maybe. I don't know if that's really like a
Oh well, yeah,
possibility
he could switch between that division. What? So so Chimaev could either fight Usman or Adesanya, is what you're saying.
because he does switch up and down.
He
Because
does do
when
that.
he came into the UFC, he was in middleweight, and then he went down to welterweight.
I did see something saying that for now on he's planning on fighting at middleweight just because of how hard that weight cut was the last time when he fought
Yeah, and he looked like
or
he didn't
when he
even
was going
try.
to fight Nate Diaz.
Looked like he didn't even try.
I mean, he was 10 pounds overweight.
Yeah,
That would have been completely unfair.
that was ridiculous.
Well, now speaking of Nate, obviously he's not in the UFC anymore. We talked about him at the beginning of the podcast, but imagine this fight lineup for Jake Paul. He fights KSI February or March. He beats KSI, or we're just saying he's going to beat KSI, whatever. I'm a big KSI guy. I think KSI would beat him
Yeah,
personally. But
that'd be a great fight.
oh, it would be amazing. But let's just say he beats KSI February, March, whatever. Then in the summer, he would fight Nate Diaz, which I think that's a winnable fight for Jake because I don't really think Nate's the best stand-up fighter. He's a grappler. So Jake beats Nate August, maybe July, September, one of those months. And then in December, January, you could take your pick. He fights Andrew Tate. Now that would be one of the best years for a
Yeah.
fighter in boxing, UFC, whatever. So
And
that
he'd
could
be
be
what,
you could
9 and
imagine how
0?
much money you could make.
Yeah, he'd be like 9 and 0 if he does that.
He would, yeah, I think he would be 9-0 or 10-0, one of the two.
And then after that, he can get his Canelo fight.
He's not. I don't think that fight's ever gonna happen. Same with him
No,
and
that's
same
never gonna happen.
with him and McGregor. I don't think they'll ever fight either.
That'd be a good fight. I think
McGregor has to
McGregor
fight in
would.
the UFC first. It doesn't
Yeah,
seem like he wants to fight at all.
let's just sell his
Whatever.
whiskey.
Yeah. I did see Dustin Poirier was interested in finishing that or actually concluding a quadrilogy with him. And Chandler was also
I
interested in
think
actually fighting McGregor too. So it seems like they both
I
want
think they
McGregor
have
after
to
this
run
fight.
that back. Yeah, I would want to watch McGregor and Poirier run that back
Well,
because
I
that
mean,
trilogy
the
fight was
third fight
so
should have been a no contest.
disappointing. Yeah, that was so disappointing to watch
I mean,
him breaking his whole
if that
foot.
I think if fights end like that or if fights come to a stoppage like that from now on, I think they should just go to whatever the scorecard had previously. And let's say like you break your round or you break your leg in like the fourth round or whatever, then you would just lose that round automatically.
Yeah,
I feel like it should be something like that. I feel like it's kind of ridiculous.
yeah, that means O'Malley's undefeated now.
What do you mean? He's always been undefeated.
Exactly.
17-0, number one in the division.
Best bantamweight ever.
Him versus Cheeto Part Two for
For the
the
interim
actual
belt,
number one contender.
that'd be a really good fight.
I think both of those guys could beat Sterling.
Yeah, well, it depends actually.
I
Sterling
don't
likes
know.
to take it to the ground.
I don't know. I mean, I think Cheeto and O'Malley are like Adesanya are very good at just staying on their feet.
Yeah,
Because Jan did in that fight with O'Malley had with Jan, he got him down a couple times, but he got right back up.
they
And
didn't
Jan's
do.
obviously a really good fighter.
Like I like O'Malley, but personally, I think Dong won that fight.
Now,
But we're not
yeah,
gonna talk about that.
I mean,
We're
I'm
not
not.
gonna talk about it.
I can't say anything just because I didn't watch the fight live, and I refuse to watch fights if I know who won. I feel like
Yeah,
it kind of defeats the whole purpose. But I can't really speak on it, so I don't really know. I just saw highlights. Both guys looked really good in the fight, so I don't know
so you're not gonna watch the co-main event?
of this.
Yeah.
I might go get a snack.
Uh, I wouldn't be mad. No, I'm not gonna watch that either.
You know, here, wait. What are the other fights on the main card? Yeah, you got Dan Hooker fighting and Frankie Edgar in his retirement fight. I watched
I
those
have
three
both of them
fights.
losing.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, that's actually probably not a bad bet to take, just because I don't know both of those guys are fighting. I don't know who Chris Gutierrez is, and I don't know who Claudio Pugliese is. I don't know either of those guys.
I think Dan Hooker's kind of washed now. He's lost like
Yeah,
4 fights in a
yeah.
row. And Frankie Edgar, I'm surprised he's
Retirement fight.
fighting still.
It's retirement
He
fight.
got he got turned into a meme against Chi. That was crazy.
He did. That did happen.
But respect to him.
I know I didn't want to talk about some of the prelims. I mean, yeah, we only have a couple minutes left, so let's just do this really quickly. But on the prelims, we got some pretty good fights. Dominic Reyes versus Ryan Spawn.
That's
It's
a
a
good
good
fight.
fight.
Yeah, I got Dominic winning that.
I got Dom winning that too. And then
Yeah.
we got Aaron Blanchfield versus Molly McCain or McCann, however you
Molly,
say it.
Molly, Holly, Patty or
Molly.
Batty.
I got
I'm
Molly
very mad. I'm very mad he's not fighting on this card. But Molly, she's a dog. She's literally a
for
dog.
sure.
She's really
Oh,
nice.
all right. It looks like that's all we have time for. Is there anything else you want to say before I sign off?
No, Giants on top.
Giants on top. Giant Super
Yeah,
Bowl inbound.
literally.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for coming on. I hope to see you
No
back here in the
problem.
near future. And
Yeah,
I would just like to
thanks for
remind the
having me.
audience that got this far into the video to please subscribe, like the video, and share it with a friend. It means a
Look
lot.
that
It helps
up.
the channel grow. And I
Look
will
it
see
up.
you guys with another upload tomorrow. Peace out.
Word.